Good day, ladies and gentlemen. It is the host with the most, Ghostilla, and on today's video, we're going to be bringing back another battle analysis to the table. And this time, it is one barely I hear anybody talk about, and thought it was kind of interesting. And today's battle is King Kong versus Aboras. For this battle, I'll be using the Showa adaptation of King Kong from 1962, and his opponent he'll go up against will be Aboras, the ancient devil beast, sealed away eons ago, and is the arch enemy of Vanilla. Of course, before we get into the battle, I just want to say thank you guys for the support on the last one. It means a lot to me. Anyways, without further ado, let's go over the categories. The 7 categories we'll be going over are height and weight, strength, speed, intelligence and battle intelligence, agility, durability, abilities, and finally, physical weaponry. Without further ado, let's begin, starting with Kong. The Showa King Kong's height is about 45 meters and weighs in at 20,500 metric tons. However, according to the official Godzilla compendium on page 131, he's stated to be 25,000 metric tons. It's kind of unclear. However, majority of sources state that he's 20,500 metric tons. But what about Aboras? Now he's a whole different story, as he is a whopping 16 meters tall and a surprising 20,000 tons. So not only is he the size of Showa, or should I say twice the size of Showa Kong, but he's also twice the size of Showa Godzilla. So yeah, so basically he's pretty tall, even Godzilla in the Showa era. So the winner for height goes to Aboras. But for weight, well, given that they're similar in weight, I would say it has to be a tie. Because again, they are both in the main category of being around 20,000 something tons. But yeah, basically it's a tie for weight. But Aboras wins for height. Next up is strength. First up is Aboras. Now he has shown some impressive strength. For an example, he was able to push around and even toss around the 20,000 ton Vanilla. After killing him, then he wrestled with Ultraman, who in the original was about 35,000 tons. In Ultraman Trigger New Generation Tiga, episode 21, in Demon's Rampage Again, Aboras and Vanilla basically teamed up to fight against Ultraman Trigger and Ultraman Trigger Dark, who were basically about the same weight, so they're both about 44,000 tons. Specifically when Aboras charged into him, causing him to fly into a building. So he has shown some pretty impressive strength overall. But what about Kong? Well, Kong has shown moments of him using his strength. For one example, when he threw the giant octopus off of him when it jumped on him. The giant octopus weighed about 600 metric tons. You may not think that's impressive at first, but you know, strength is strength overall. Then another example, of course, was when he was fighting Godzilla. Now Kong did manage to put up a good fight in his base form, or somewhat I guess, until he was struck by lightning, which gave him powers but also boosted his strength. Which not only was he able to swing Godzilla by his tail, but also flip him over his shoulders, which the Showa Godzilla is about 20,000 tons. To be honest, the winner for strength is probably Aboras, because while Kong, yes, he's strong in his base form, however, the only reason why he became stronger was because of the lightning strike. But yeah, so to be honest with you, the winner that I would declare for strength has to go to Aboras. Coming up next is speed. First up is Kong. Now Kong has shown some impressive speed. For an example, he was able to run from Godzilla, so he has to be at least around 25 miles per hour, especially when he was running away from him when he was on top of the Mount Fuji. Now for Aboras, he has shown some average speed, but he can't sprint. So the winner for speed is Kong. Following next is intelligence. Let's start with Kong again. Given that Kong is a primate, he is able to use strategies as well as plan out in combat. In one scene where Kong used boulders to force the giant octopus to retreat, and during the final fight against Godzilla when he used a tree to choke him until he blew the tree out with his atomic beam. So Kong is able to use the environment as resource and potential weapons. Aboras mostly relies on brute strength, however the time he did show intelligence was when he used Vanilla as a shield against Trigger Dark. So Yeah, honestly, the winner for intelligence goes to Kong. Then we have battle intelligence. For Aboras, he mostly relies on his brute strength, as well as his acid foaming mist against his opponent. And Kong, he uses the environment likely for weapons, and is aware of attacks. So, for battle IQ, I would have to give it to Aboras. Despite, well, Kong using the environment as weapons, but I would have to give it to Aboras, as he basically relies on his weapons, almost. Anyways, moving on. Next is agility. Now, to be completely honest with you, both are pretty agile, especially in their respective fights. So it's a tie once again for these two. Coming up next, we have durability, and here's where things get a bit crazy. First up is Kong. Now, Kong has managed to survive not once, but took Godzilla's beam 4 times, even when he was in his base form, or when he got powered up by lightning. Despite having a few burns on his fur, he still kept going. Now, here's the thing to remember, guys. This is the same beam that can melt metal and destroy cities. So for Kong to survive these blasts is basically impressive, especially in his base and even electric form. What about Aboras, you're probably wondering? Well, not only did he brush off the assault from the Science Patrol, which had no effect on him, but also survived not 1, but 2 blasts until the 3rd shot from Ultraman's Spacium beam. Now this is the same beam that can weaken and even blow up a kaiju in 1 shot. And for his later appearance in Ultraman Trigger, he still had good durability, but he was 1-shotted along with Vanilla from both Ultraman Trigger and Trigger Dark. Honestly, I would say that King Kong takes the win for durability, because he's taken way more blasts than Aboras. However, that doesn't mean his durability is impressive, as he again survived from the Spacium beam that can 1-shot or weaken a kaiju. But I'm gonna have to give it to Kong, as he took more blasts than Aboras. Following up next are abilities. Taking a look at Aboras, he has some abilities such as Acid Foaming Mist, which is a dangerous light blue mist of acid that when coming into contact it turns into white adhesive foam, capable of paralyzing and even inflicting painful chemical burns, as well as dissolving the opponent completely. Then he has good durability, of course, and also uses his teeth to bite into an opponent. And the last one is Penicillin Blood, which is basically toxic blood flowing through his bloodstream. Taking a look at Kong, he doesn't have that much besides strength, durability, and electric affinity. But Aboras has more than Kong, so he takes the win for abilities. Finally, we have physical weaponry. Again, let's take a look at Aboras. He has a lot of physical weaponry, such as sharp teeth, claws, strong jaw, horn, and a large tail. For Kong, he just, has sharp teeth, strong arms, and legs. So, the winner for physical weaponry goes to, once again, Aboras. Here we are, with a score of 4-3, the winner for this battle goes to Aboras. And here's why. You see, Aboras by literal definition is a walking toxic chemical, as he not only does he have penicillin blood flowing through his bloodstream, but he can also use the acid mist to his advantage. As for Kong, well, he can't really do much, as he will have a hard time fighting Aboras, especially dodging the acid mist, and he can't even bite into him because, again, Aboras has toxic blood flowing through his veins, which could kill Kong in the inside. Now I know you're probably thinking, well, doesn't he have the ability to use electricity? Yes, but no. Yes, he did get struck by lightning, but here's the thing though. You see, this lightning storm just came out of nowhere, simply. And honestly, the main reason why he even gained electricity was just simply out of dumb luck. It's not like he can just summon thunderstorms or anything because, well, he's a giant ape. Now, despite having intelligence and speed, he would need to watch out for Aboras' mist and should be careful biting into him, as once again, Aboras' toxic blood could go into his bloodstream and poison him and even kill him. So, honestly, there's really nothing Kong can do but plan his attacks out. But realistically speaking, I don't think he'll figure out that Aboras' blood is a toxic chemical. Another reason Aboras wins is because he can just one-shot Kong with his acid mist. And if that mist lands on a single bit of fur on Kong, or like just anything really, he will just completely dissolve. However, not only will he dissolve, but this will also cause intense pain, like burning acid. So, in simple terms, Kong will just melt and will be nothing more but acid fluid. But you're probably also wondering, well, how come Ultraman took Aboras' acid mist, but not Kong? Well, you see, the main reason why Ultraman survived was because he focused his energy to dispatch the foam. However, despite the foam having contact which causes color timer to start blinking, however, that didn't really do much harm. And he also dodged these mist blasts, by the way. So, yeah. Ultraman was able to survive because, again, he dispatched the foam off of him. But going back to the main topic, Aboras would give a good fight to Kong, but realistically probably would one-shot him with his acid mist, as it would just, well, simply melt Kong. But not only that, but Kong will also give a good fight too, but again, he'll just get one-shotted and melt. So, yeah, that wraps up for today, and tell me in the comments what do you think of this outcome. Anyways, thanks for watching. This is your host with the most, signing off. See ya.